We finally got more information about KingOhger through the cast and story reveal panel. After 2000 years, the Ragnarok have returned, driving the world to despair. But 5 kings would stand up and fight. Let's talk about those 5 kings. Gamnagast, the king of ID and Technology Land, aka Mr. President. He is a Yankee king who rose up to the position of king with a single computer. He was born in a slum, so he has a foul mouth and uses made-up swear words. Tombo Oja. Himeno Ran. She is an extremely selfish queen with an eye for everything that's beautiful and cute. She will stop at nothing to pursue her own selfishness desire. She is a genius doctor. Kamakiri Oja. Rita Kanisaku, Snow Monarch, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Gokan, the land of ice and snow. A monarch of few words, ruthless in judgment, and an absolute natural. A conservative and doesn't show much emotion, probably due to Gokan's location. Rita's pronouns is just Osama or Your Majesty, so others have hard time knowing what their gender is. Papillon Oja, Kakuragi Debowski, Lord King of Tofu, the land of agriculture. At first glance, he appears to be a gentleman with a spirit of hospitality who is always ready to help anyone who asks. However, he is a two-faced, black-hearted man who would lie for the sake of his country. Gira, a citizen of Shogadam who claims to be the self-proclaimed king. He grew up in an orphanage under the castle of Shogadam, an industrialized country, and is a kind-hearted young man who is willing to sacrifice himself for the sake of children. He is called the King of Evil, Kuwagata Oja. Everybody kind of looks really interesting, specifically Gira, not only being the self-proclaimed king, but also the king of evil. So does it mean he was like a villain once and after that reformed, but he's still being known as the king of evil? Rita as a character is very interesting because how much the character itself, we don't know what's their gender, but it is an actress, and I don't know if the actress is non-binary, and from what I understand, she's not. So it's going to be kind of an interesting idea of, oh, is it going to be a girl? Is it going to be a trans boy? Or it's just going to be non-binary? Ren looks interesting because she's supposed to be this selfish queen, but also she's a doctor that tries to save everyone before herself. Like, I've seen it in multiple descriptions. It's kind of a weird kind of dichotomy of like, oh, she's selfish, but also she wants to save everyone. So that's going to be interesting. The Black Ranger, I'm still kind of trying to catch his name. Interesting to understand that he's a two-face that looks like a nice dude, but also would lie to everyone. That's going to be kind of an interesting idea, and there is a lot in the description that people say that he's a womanizer, so maybe he would have great kind of interaction both with purple and yellow. But tell you the truth, blue is like the most boring one, at least for now. But yeah, I really like the way the show looks. But I am keeping my hopes low enough for me to not get myself too excited or too disappointed. I am not fully sure about the villains, like specifically them being pretty much revived the evil from the past, because it's very much a traditional Toku thing to do, specifically in Sentai. But right now, again, I'm keeping all of my thoughts specifically about the villains and the Blue Ranger kind of like to the lowest extent of like, I have no emotional attachment right now, so I would wait until the show comes out. But the cockpit for the Zord fight looks so cool with this weird mechanical thing. Specifically, we see it above Red, but probably it's above everyone. It's so cool that the guy that is the showrunner for Power Rangers did comment about it and say how cool that looks like, and maybe that would be kind of like one of the Sentai that Hasbro would choose to adapt if they are going back and forth with adapting stuff and not adapting stuff. Most of the people that are working on the show are fairly new, specifically the main writer. He worked mainly under Yuya Takahashi. The main director worked on Real Soldier, so I'm very much hoping this show would be better. And the guy that makes actually most of the OST of the show is the guy that worked on both KingOhger, KingOhger, and 01. So tell you the truth, those are free shows with great OST, so that's at least something that I'm actually excited for. So yeah, what you thought about KingOhger? Are you excited for the cast? Are you excited for the story overall? What you more excited about? Comment below, let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.